This right here is the brand new Insta360 Flow 2 Pro, the successor of the Flow 1 Pro. And I would highly recommend checking out our first comparison video between the OM6 and the Flow 1 Pro right here. You can check it out right here by clicking the card, or it's also listed and linked in the description, of course. We went into great depth, not only when it gets to the size and deployment speed of both gimbals, but also to the stabilization and tracking capabilities, which turned out to be vastly superior for the Flow 1 Pro already. And now with the Flow 2 Pro, all those features got improved by a huge margin, and it also comes with many more unique features that we will mainly focus on in this video. The OM6, on the other hand, is basically still the same, but Insta360 took a huge leap forward with this device. By the way, if you're interested already, then check out the product links in the description. I will list and link the best deals for you. And talking about the best deals, the first 30 buyers through our link will receive a free MagSafe phone mount as a special gift. So don't miss out and get yourself this epic magnetic phone holder that you can also use with the Flow 2 Pro. Yeah, now let's start with this comparison. Before we get to it, let's blast through the most important spec differences first. The Flow 2 Pro is a bit heavier. The magnetic force is pretty much the same. Here we have the dimensions. They're pretty much compatible with the same phone dimensions, but the Flow 2 Pro can handle a wider weight variation. Both have USB-C and a similar tripod, but this one is of course built in. A little bigger battery for the Flow 2 Pro, but a vastly superior runtime. Here we have the rest of the battery specs, so you can operate this gimbal in way colder temperatures as well. And of course the mechanical range of the Flow 2 Pro is also vastly superior. Same control speed, Bluetooth is pretty much the same, and the Flow 2 Pro also offers NFC. And what I love about the Flow 2 Pro the most is its all-in-one design. And one key feature that I want to highlight as well is the 3-axis design. While most phone gimbals only have 2 axes, the Flow 2 Pro has 3 of them, giving you the best of the best when it gets to stabilizing your footage. So both of them are of course a stabilizer and have a built-in selfie stick. You basically just pull it out, this will unfold the stick, bring it back in. It's the same for both designs, and the length is pretty much the same. But with the Flow 2 Pro, you will also get a power bank thanks to its reverse charging capabilities. Right here we also have a selfie mirror, super helpful when you film yourself. Also the teleprompter mode and the tracking ring light. So the Flow 2 Pro is an all-in-one gimbal with a battery life that will last you all day, a built-in selfie stick, built-in tripod, super quick to deploy. Compared to the OM6, the tripod, you need to screw it off. It's a separate part, it's extremely large. Storing both, it's just a much larger footprint, and also just folding it, this gimbal, is a huge hassle compared to the easy setup of the Flow 2 Pro, which is just boom, boom, done. And if you want the tripod, just bring out the legs. Extremely quick. Unfolded, fully deployed, they look very similar, but the crazy difference is the actual deployment speed. So let me remove the phones right there and right there. Now let's fold them up. Right there, right there. So, and now check out the speed difference. Ready. With the tripod, ready. And now the same for the OM6. Ready. And now the tripod. Ready. So with this gimbal, it's a 1, 2, done. But with this one, it's a 1. Then you need to put down the phone, somewhat put it together, screw off the tripod. And with this one, putting it back in is extremely quick. So again, the full progress right there. Deployed and back together. Super quick. Now with this one, deployed. Done. You can do this fairly quickly as well, but the ease of use is just far superior with this one. It's night and day. And before we get into more details, let me tell you about the best new unique features that set the Flow 2 Pro apart massively compared to the OM6. So first of all, the Flow 2 Pro is the first ever the first and only gimbal that successfully integrates with Apple DockKit. That means you can use all sorts of third-party iOS apps with this gimbal. In other words, you can use the precise AI tracking of the Flow 2 Pro, not only in the native app, but also, for example, with FaceTime, WhatsApp, and other messengers. Of course, with all sorts of video apps like CapCut, even with TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch. To activate the tracking, you just need to press the button and it will work and track you in over 200 third-party iOS apps. And of course, this will also work perfectly when you do online meetings in Zoom or Google Meet, Microsoft Teams, and so on. And this just opens up massive new opportunities and possibilities that you can get only with the Flow 2 Pro. The OM6 only has the native app available. It's called DJI Mimo, and it can only track you inside of this app. There is no third-party app support with the OM6. Insta360 also provides a native app that offers even more features, capabilities, and tutorials, as well as many presets for creating awesome videos. And talking about the app, there are so many new powerful features, like the active zoom tracking that allows a 15x zoomed in tracking. The OM6 can only do a max of 8x, and it's not closely as precise. Also new is the multi-person tracking. You can now track a whole group of people, and it will keep the whole group centered, not only one person. And what's also a new great option is that you can now set the tracking point to a grid for golden ratio epicness. You can pick one of 9 points. Other than that, you can now control your setup with a secondary phone. For this, just tap here, the QR code will pop up, then just scan the code. There is no app required. This is web-based, and just like that, you can control the gimbal, the movement, and you can also start and stop to take photos, videos. You can control the camera, and best of all, you will get a live feedback as well. So photo, bring it over to me, and there we go. With this, you can easily operate your setup from a distance, which is incredibly powerful. You just need to be in the same Wi-Fi network. And aside from the software, also the hardware got much better. For example, the pan axis can now turn infinitely, which also allows for many new unique modes, like the free tilt mode, as well as 360 degrees pictures, as well as panoramas, 360 degrees tracking, of course. And there are a few little life hacks included as well, like a teleprompter mode, a selfie mirror on the back, really cool quick release accessories, and of course one-tap pairing. So let's check out all those new features and modes in detail. Now, for the first time ever, you can track yourself with the onboard camera app. That's the native iPhone camera app, and you can also use the button to turn around the camera. Double press for horizontal mode. Of course, we can use a joystick to move it around, but best, when we tap this button, it will start the tracking. So let's bring it around with the triple press and pressing the button. It will now track me inside of the app, natively tracking. So with this gimbal, you will get tracking in all the iOS apps as well, which is extremely powerful because just like that, all the third-party tracking hardware is now simply obsolete. And this will not only work in the native camera app, but also in all the social media apps. For example, Instagram right there. Deactivating the tracking also works with the same button. So again, it's now tracking me in Instagram. I can create stories, videos, all of that good stuff, and it will track me precisely, very fast, and also all the way around. Look at that. A full 360 degrees tracking is now possible thanks to the new hardware. Let's pause that, go back. Snapchat, for example, right there. Imagine taking a Snapchat video and you're simply getting tracked. How awesome is that? You can just walk around and it will always have you in the center of the video. Also TikTok right there. It can track you in all the iOS apps, which is extremely powerful. A massive game changer to say the least. And of course, it can also track you with both cameras right there. I'm using the main camera. I can look at myself in the selfie mirror. It's just amazing. And it's also really fast and precise. And this tracking will work with all sorts of chat apps, photo video apps, live streaming apps, social media, you name it, as well as online meeting apps. The DJI OM6 can only track you in the Mimo app, no third-party apps for the OM6. And if you want to take the tracking of the Flow 2 Pro to the next level, then we of course have the Insta360 native app for that as well. So let's compare the native app tracking. As you can see, the simple tracking in both cases works pretty well, but of course the OM6 has vastly less turning radius as well as movement, as you can see right here. And of course, when I start moving around, then the OM6 will run into problems really quickly, whereas the Flow 2 Pro will track me all the way around. And the all the way around tracking is called the 360-degree infinite pan tracking. You can literally run full circles around this gimbal, as many as you want. It will never stop tracking you. It can go as long as you. No limits to the pan axis. Literally limitless tracking. And as you can see, it can even keep up when I speed up the movement quite tremendously. Fast moving speeds, no problem for the Flow 2 Pro. And the tracking of the Flow 2 Pro is also, as you can see, vastly superior when I actually obstruct myself. The OM6 already has issues right there. No problem for the Flow 2 Pro. So it's very apparent that the tracking capabilities of the native Insta360 app are vastly superior compared to the Mimo tracking. And I simply have to mention that this was a simple scenario. When it gets to multiple persons or group tracking, the OM6 can do none of that. To demonstrate one of the new key selling points of the Flow 2 Pro, namely the ability to accurately and continuously track subjects at a very large distance. As you can see, it's zoomed in to the max. Both apps can handle the forwards and backwards movements quite well, but when it gets to side movements, as you can see, the Insta360 tracking is able to keep up with the fast movements, while the DJI tracking is losing the subject on a regular basis. Zoomed into the max, fast moving subjects, no problem for the Flow 2 Pro. But wait, there's more. While previously tracking was only possible for one person that will keep just one person centered, we now for the first time ever can select multiple persons. And this will center not only one person but the whole group in the center of the screen. Yet another tracking game changer. Another game changer would be the repositioning for the Flow 2 Pro. As you can see, the OM6 can only keep your face in the middle of the screen or of the composition, but with the Flow 2 Pro, you can select one of these 9 squares. And as you can see, your face will now be kept in this area of the composition or of the screen. So this is the left one, this would be the right one, of course. As you can see, this is very interesting for different aspects for filming it. Sorry for the glare. Now the upper left corner, and this is very apparent what new creative freedoms you will get with this. And again, obstruction. The Flow 2 Pro got it, but the OM6 has issues. So even in this repositioning mode, the tracking is top notch. So I'm right here. Once again, behind the camera, right there, and right there. Vastly superior tracking for the Flow 2 Pro. This is not even funny. Again, the infinite pan, the OM6 just has limits when it gets to that, right there, while the Insta360 Flow 2 Pro can keep going and going and going all the way around a full 360 degrees, so very limited motion across or around the pan axis for the OM6 and unlimited range for the Flow 2 Pro. And this of course enables cool modes like full 360 pictures as well as panoramas, and also the free tilt mode. Currently it's rotating around this axis of course, but you can get creative, pull it out, and then you can also let it rotate around this axis. I mean, look at that. You can now go infinitely around this axis as well. This is almost the same as the barrel roll. So when you hold it like that, you can turn the pan axis into the tilt axis. So this fully rotatable axis has a lot of benefits. When it gets to the actual quality of video as well as sound quality, Insta360 also stepped it up a notch, quite a notch to be specific, by allowing you to use Apple ProRes for the video codec. This is a RAW format, and it also now supports Dolby Vision. Brand new, and this is also for higher dynamic range and increased picture quality as well as color accuracy and vividness. Also, when it gets to the battery life, the OM6 is just outdated by today's standards. The Flow 2 Pro offers 10 hours of continuing shooting activity, whereas the OM6 tops out at after around 6.5 hours. And you can use the Flow 2 Pro as an emergency power bank as well, thanks to the reverse charging capabilities. So if your phone is running low on battery, you can keep it topped off by simply plugging it in right there. So as you saw, the Flow 2 Pro now offers even better build quality as well as hardware with an even more amazing design and all those features and capabilities for such an amazing price point. As you saw, it is so much better than the competition in all regards, especially in this price segment. It is absolutely crazy. So many great new features. The app is outstanding. You can customize the behavior to the T. Just top tier value right here. Insta360 always brings amazing value to the table with great looking devices and a top of the line ecosystem. Of course, both of these gimbals are listed and linked below, and both are of course definitely drippy. So yeah, check out the product links in the description if you're interested. I will list and link the best deals for you. But before you go, smash that like button, then subscribe, ring the bell and click all to never miss amazing tech magnet videos. That's it for this one. Enjoy it and I will see you soon.